Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran here with another beautiful, lovely. Sometimes she's been known to make this man right here, this lucky man, a sandwich wife of mine, a light of my life, Yanzi Lynn.
Hi.
Today is the day we are talking about the CW being sold for $0.99. Let's get into it.
Wait, hold your horses. $0.99. They sold for $0. Let's get that number up straight here. All right, $0.
I just thought $0.99 sounded funny. All right, so wait before you believe it or not, a TV network has been sold for $0 right now. But before we get into it, look down below, hit like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications as we talk about pop culture, comics, all things fun right here on this channel. I hope you will join us in the future. So the CW, you probably heard of it, done some shows. Ratings have been down, talking about the Batwoman's, a horrible show, mind you, just rancid. Couldn't make it through it, couldn't stomach it. Now, me, I kind of like The Flash, but kind of gave up on it too. All these DC shows, go woke, go broke. You've heard it. Now we're going to witness it. Discovery, for people who don't know, if you're new to the channel, had bought Warner Brothers, DC Comics, all of that stuff. And then they basically had a nice little formal statement that they're going to cut costs around, trim out all the fat.
$3 whole billion they want to trim. And it's like, all right, so at this point, if you want to cut $3 billion off your budget, you're going to have to try and find every single way to do that. And especially you want to trim something off that isn't making money. So we have over here a network called CW. I think it's a shame because my favorite show, Supernatural, came from it. Now, CW, it's not a profitable network at all. Not by any means. In fact, for proof of that, you just have to look at their TV ratings. So let's have a look at their TV ratings for 2021 to 2022. Pretty much year-to-year change of audience viewership is just double-digit decline.
Right. And believe it or not, like things like Smallville, there were successful shows that came out of the CW. So it kind of built the network up. Where we're at today, Discovery bought Warner Brothers. That included DC Comics, HBO, everything up under the umbrella, right? CW included, right? So was CW redundant with HBO Max streaming? Could these shows just be on HBO Max? Sure. In theory, yeah. So CW is some of the fat they had to cut out. Now, DC Comics is another company that, you know, has had bloodbath after bloodbath, starting with AT&T and going still into this Discovery merger. Everybody's like, no, everything's fine. You know, you're just hating on the American comic book industry. DC Comics got their office building yanked out from up under them. Burbank real estate. Now they're working off a hot desk. So this is a kind of pop-up like type office space for a publishing company to work out of. They literally don't have real estate to work out of. They had to rent it basically by the day. An editor doesn't have a desk every day. If they can find a desk, they get to work on the desk. If there's no seats, they get to work on the floor. So this is like cutting all across the board. And this big company, a big conglomerate being bought out by Discovery. Now, this deal specifically, the CW deal, is pretty interesting. You want to explain to people why?
Well, CW is being acquired by this group called Nexstar. They will not be acquiring the whole of CW per se. They'll acquire 75%, while Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery will each retain a 12.5% stake. So the interesting thing is that Nexstar isn't going to pay one single penny, or they aren't even going to offer any stock in exchange to acquire CW. They would instead assume a portion of the network's current losses. That's right, current losses. CW is not a profitable network. All they have are losses, and it's said that it could exceed $100 million. So they're coming in basically saying, yeah, we'll take the loss, and we aren't paying you anything for it. And Zaslav, of course, is like, yeah, we need to lose $3 billion in expenditure. So why not cut up this? That is really costing them $100 million.
So basically, they thought the network was redundant. They haven't produced a show that's getting ratings, despite doubling down on Batwoman. Right now, they look at it at unloading this as a way just to lessen their debt. Discovery. Here's the thing: when AT&T bought Warner Brothers, they were severely in debt. And then when they sold off to Discovery, they basically they didn't make any money. Did they not lose money?
I don't think the exact details were disclosed, but I'm pretty sure AT&T must have suffered a loss because they paid quite a bit of money. And now at this point, they just need to get rid of things that they think are hemorrhaging money. So I want to look at this deal from a different angle, though. One very interesting thing about this deal is that Nexstar, the motivation for them to acquire CW is to pivot the programming on the CW to something closer to the local audience of its local stations. So CW is a channel that we have shows that more recently we think about things like Nancy Drew, Riverdale, Naomi, The Flash. Basically, all these things are what you're concerned for the younger demographic. Now, you suddenly want to pivot to an older demographic. And older demographic probably won't be as interested in things like social activism and all these kind of stuff. They probably want more traditional storytelling, more about, say, characters, values.
Not even sure superheroes. Again, like to me, CW's kind of, I get the argument that it's kind of redundant with HBO Max, but at the same time, it still is a brand that's built up. Somebody says the CW, you kind of know all the advertising for the shows on it, and you kind of understand. And a brand is worth something. To do a radical pivot, some would argue, like, Batwoman and other things and social justice warrior type TV shows was a radical pivot from just standard TV television. So to pivot again, I don't know if they're gonna have access to any type of superhero content. I'm not even sure if they're gonna have an interest in that. Like, it's high budget, special effects. They're not the cheapest TV episodes to make, and if you do them on the cheap, I think Smallville has really been one of the major successful ones. Maybe Arrow and Flash. The effects, they're not all that great, and you kind of have to look past them.
Have you seen the Gotham Knights trailers? We saw the Gotham Knights trailer. It was like, oh, okay, you just wanted the Batman title in there somewhere, right? That's why you call it Gotham Knights, because it literally looked like some kind of teen drama thing that the CW is coming up with. And that's one thing that CW is known for. CW, you think about CW, you think, oh, teen drama. But if you think back closer to, like, say, 15, 20 years, when you talk about CW, you think about things like Smallville, you think about things like Supernatural, like, oh, wow, right. That is the golden age of CW. I do not know if when they acquire CW, are they thinking, let's pivot more back to those shows, those older type of shows?
Or they could be chasing an aging demographic. Like, they maybe think, like, the people that were there for Smallville and the people that were there for, like, I hate to say Supernatural, that you guys have kind of aged out of the content they're actually making, and they're going to try to put something. I mean, some of these actors, they're in their 50s now. That's, if you were a fan of those shows on the CW, you may not want to watch that type of stuff. You may actually they're chasing the demographic out. I don't know. I mean, this is an interesting, decision to pivot from that. DC Comics, Warner Brothers, Discovery, all of this stuff, cut. How else is this company going to change before the year is up? We're only like halfway into it, going into the second half now. And there's been drastic changes all around in Warner's media. I don't know, just have to watch and find out. I think it'll be interesting news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con this year. Probably more New York Comic-Con, though. I think a lot of dust is settling. I think this news is actually coming up now just to hopefully get drowned out by a lot of media stuff that's going to come out pretty soon. So anyways, if you guys will, look down below, hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification. Let us know what your thoughts about this radical change with the television network. And also, I have to remind you, Inglorious Rex is still up. This is our second Indiegogo crowdfunder at $268,266. Crazy amount of money for a book about monsters punching one another. I hope you will enjoy this trailer.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been? I don't know where to begin. All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a past the doctor. I got a 6 cents for a prostate. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break chains.